Hello guys, can you hear me clearly? Can you hear me now? Okay, thanks for your reply, and let me stop the music first, okay? Hi, morning everyone. It's always nice to have you back for my live broadcast. Thanks for following me all the time. And today is 21st October 2020, Wednesday, right? And today, as is planned before, we will talk about the US general election and influence on the stock market. And today we are focusing on the influence of the general election on the sectors of the US market. So Donald Trump versus Joe Biden, which sectors would be the winners in the stock market? Okay, so contents covered today. Firstly, I will share with you 4 possible results of the US general election, and the sectors might be influenced. And these these 4 possible results are based on a research report of Bank of America. Okay, and then secondly, I will talk about Coca Cola today. Yesterday, I also mentioned the Q3 earnings report for Coca Cola is coming out Thursday, right? So tomorrow. So later, I will share with you my point of view about Coca Cola and this coming earnings report. And also, I will talk about the Singapore individual stocks worth our attention. Okay, and the third part will be about individual stocks diagnosis. So you can write down your stocks now so that we can save time. Later, when I say we can do the diagnosis, we can begin immediately. Alright? If you already got your stocks ready, can write down now. Okay, in the comment section, or you can WhatsApp me privately. Okay? Before we begin, I need to remind you that all the stocks mentioned in the video are for the purpose of demonstration and education, not recommendation. Investors should be aware of the risks involved in stock trading and take full responsibilities of their own tradings. Okay, so about the 4 possible results of the US general election, right? So this is based on a research report from a Bank of America. Okay, based on this report, it is said that the sectors to be benefited if Joe Biden wins the election, and at the same time, the Democrats control the Senate. If in that case, so we would have a promising prospect for the micro economy. So means it's good for the economy, right? Generally speaking, it would be good. And if in that case, the sectors would be benefited. Firstly, renewable energy and industrial and automobiles, telecommunication, and banks, and also silver. Okay, and the sectors might be surprised, okay, including health and fitness, high-tech giants, education, and social media. Okay, here, I especially want to talk about the high-tech giants. because it says that if Joe Biden wins and also the Democrats control the Senate, the high techs might be surprised. But actually, this is just the opinion of the Bank of America, right? So we don't have to accept it 100%. Okay, we need to analyze and judge independently. I mentioned in my previous videos that the high-tech sector, high technology, especially the digital technology, right, would remain the center of fierce competition among different countries all over the world, right? So the high-tech sector still has great potentiality for a long time in the future. So means we can't just let's say deny the high-tech sector or high-tech giants because of this opinion, right? Because whether or not the Biden winning can have such bad influence on the high-tech giants, it is not sure yet. It is just the opinion of the Bank of America. It's not the opinion of all people, all investors. Definitely not the opinion of mine, right? And then, this is one thing. Not sure whether or not Biden's winning can have, and also the Senate, the Democrats controlling the Senate can have such bad influence on the high-tech giants. Like Apple and Amazon, right? And then secondly, even if it really does have such bad influence, how serious this influence can be, still not sure. Also not sure. For example, if really under the, let's say, the political regulations and pressure from the government, Joe Biden's government in future, if he really wins the election, right? But if the high-tech giants can tackle properly, can remain growth, right? So maybe the influence will not be that great. So it depends on the concrete situation in future. So we cannot just jump into a conclusion until now. By now, right? So it's too early to jump into any conclusion. So much uncertainties. Okay, so this is about the first result provided by the report of the Bank of America. And then the second result is, if Biden wins the election, right, and the Republicans control the Senate, it says that it equals to a bearish stock market. Why? It's easy to understand, right? Because if the Biden wins, because he belongs to the Democrats, but if the Republicans control the Senate, means in future Biden's policies will be greatly, let's say, hindered or restricted by the Republicans, right? So if a lot of disagreement between the Democrats and Republicans in future, all the policies cannot be carried out smoothly. Of course, the economy would be greatly damaged. The recovery of the economy, recovery of the economy would be slowed down, right? And for example, we see the financial aids for the COVID-19, right? So up until now, no result because the two parties disagree with each other, right? So if the Senate and the President are not don't belong to the same party, it will be really bad for the U.S. economy recovery. So that's why it said that it equals to bearish stock market. If in such case, it is said that you can better invest in the bonds. Because if the stock market is bad, well, you can go to bonds. But this is the opinion of the Bank of America. We can have some other choices. Of course, maybe if the economy becomes weak, and if the US dollars remain quite weak, and then maybe gold in future also would have some other opportunities, right? So it's not that we only have to stick to the bonds. And also, I repeat again, this is just the opinion of the Bank of America. We can have our own point of views, okay? And then the third result based on the report is, if Trump wins the election, it means stagnant economy. Okay, so this is Bank of America's opinion, and it says that the sectors would be benefited. National defense, this sector would be benefited, and also for the other sectors would roughly remain the same as the current status quo. Okay, and this is the third possibility. And finally, the fourth possibility is no results on 3rd November at all. Yesterday, I also mentioned, if let's say Joe Biden wins election on 3rd November, but Donald Trump disagree. If he disagree, it's possible that the final result will be postponed until maybe end of the year, or maybe even early next year, because it happens in the history when the current president disagree with the results of the general election. Then there would be further discussions, and the results would come later at a later time. So if in that case the report said it might be the chance to buy stocks. The reason it provided is because at that moment the market would be seriously upset, right? Greatly upset by the uncertainties here, right? I mentioned that yesterday, right? So means the market might drop sharply, at least for short time. I mentioned that yesterday, right? So if no result come out on 3rd November, means the retailers have to suffer and bear the uncertain situation for even longer time. And then for the big institutions, they also don't want to see such a thing happen. So the market might drop for short term. Maybe it's a forceful drop, and based on the report, if it's a very sharp drop, it might be a chance to buy some stocks, oversold stocks, because many stocks would be oversold. But I need to remind you, this kind of trading is very speculative and it's quite tricky. It requires experience and skills. And if you are not veteran in the stock market, you are just a beginner, it's extremely dangerous if really the market drops sharply when we have the first result come out, and you want to do the bottom catch. Well, it's really dangerous. If you have the skills, the capacity, of course, you really might try to catch such kind of oversold opportunities, bottom catch, right? But if you are not the veteran in the stock market, better not to trade. Okay, so this is for the report of the Bank of America. The opinions of the Bank of America on about the who wins the election, the influence on the stock market, what sectors can be benefited, right? And then secondly, I want to talk about Coca Cola, because Coca Cola, the Q3 earnings result would be issued tomorrow before market open. So Thursday before market open, so there will be the result would come out. And according to some research, the Zacks investment research, based on 7 analysts' forecast, right? So the earnings per share for Coca Cola for quarter 3 would be 0.45 cents. 0.45 cents, right? For prediction for the third quarter. And if we check the previous 4 quarters, right? So the blue bar is the estimate by the analysts, and this is the dark blue bar, right? That's the estimation. That's the estimate of the analysts, and then the light blue one is the real the reported earnings per share, right? And if we check the last 4 quarters, right, the prediction roughly would be the same as the real result, right? So means the prediction for Coca-Cola previously has been quite accurate. Only the first quarter this year, right? First quarter this year, the real result is much higher than the prediction. This is a surprise. But you see, for the other 3 quarters, the prediction roughly the same. Sometimes the real result is slightly higher than the prediction. Means generally speaking, Coca-Cola, the recent for the last 4 quarters, it has done very well. Of course, generally speaking, it's going down the earnings per share, but it's understandable. All companies have been somehow influenced by the COVID-19, right? And now we see that the economy is recovering slowly. Although we see the numbers of the COVID-19 cases still increasing in many countries, and it's also quite serious in US, but we have hope because the vaccine would come not a long time into future, right? And I mentioned yesterday, Pfizer, right, is likely to apply for emergency use authorization in the 3rd week of November. So just the next month, November, the 3rd week after general election, maybe we would quickly get the result by Pfizer, whether or not Pfizer's vaccine is safe and effective. If that's true, means it's possible we would be able to have vaccine available by the end of the year. And even if the result is negative, it's not that safe, or maybe it's not that effective. According to the predictions of some experts, it's possible that the vaccine might come out first half next year, and the most pessimistic opinion is second half next year, right? So we don't need to wait for a long time, and the economy recovery is a sure thing. So means actually most companies would slowly begin to recover, right? Including Coca-Cola, because for Coca-Cola, it belongs to the consumer defensive sector, right? As long as the economy can recover slowly, the company Coca-Cola can also recover slowly, right? And it would be quite stable. If we check the price for Coca-Cola, right? Let's check the price for Coca-Cola. Yeah, this is Coca-Cola. What we see now for Coca-Cola is price already above the white lines of Homely Rainbow. It's above all the rainbow lines here. Means for long term, it's in the long-term bullish reversal, in the process of long-term bullish reversal. For short term, we have some resistance. The previous high, we have resistance, and the price has been in the consolidation area for a while. The top 51.50, the bottom around 48.32 cents. So if in future the price break up the top of the sideways area, and meanwhile we see the retailers already disappear completely, right? Multicolor Dragon tell us retailers already disappear completely, and the big boy now is around 25%. Wow. If in future the price really break up the sideways platform, the big boys increase to be more than 25, even 50%, maybe Coca Cola would give us some rallies in future. But for such kind of consumer defensive stocks as Coca Cola, we don't have so many chances that the price can soar up at a very fast speed as the tech companies like Apple or Tesla. For these stocks, because they belong to the growth stocks, right? They belong to the growth stocks. They can grow at a very fast speed. But for such kind of Coca-Cola, the price movement would be quite stable. It's possible that in future, Coca-Cola can slowly go up and stably go up. Okay, so means for this share, maybe you can try to consider try to buy and hold for medium term to long term. For medium term to long term, it might be a good choice. And if you feel boring, if you feel that Coca-Cola go up too slowly in future, right? Maybe you also can consider do some options. You can buy some Coca-Cola stocks and then do some option, take some option strategies. But option is not that easy. I remind you, especially for beginners. If you have never been exposed to options, you don't know much about options. Better not to touch, because options is extremely speculative and also it's quite tricky. It requires very rich experience and expertise. So maybe in future, if we have some chances, I can share with you some basics about option trading, right? But not now, maybe in future. And if you are a veteran in the market and you know very well about options and you have traded, you have done a lot of options yourself already, maybe you also can consider Coca-Cola, because it's boring. By applying some option strategies, your profit might be bigger. Okay, so this is about Coca-Cola. And the third part for today, let's check some Singapore innovative stocks, right? So for Singapore's innovative stocks worth attention. So previously, IFAS and Julian Chemical, you can follow the indicators, right? So Homely members can follow the indicator. If you're not Homely member, can talk to me privately, and I don't want to mention them again today. And then for, let's say, Singapore innovative stocks, previously I mentioned about Yangzijiang, right? I mentioned we can keep monitoring this one. Yeah, still, you see, now it's within the sideways area, right? It's still within the sideways area, the previous high. Price hasn't yet. But if in future you see the big boys finally come out, the price break up, it might give us good opportunities in future for Yangzijiang. Can keep monitoring. And until today, we see a first recircle, right? If today when the market closed, it remains recircle today, right? So maybe you want to try, but I remind you, you try, it might fail. It's possible you might be successful, and it's also possible you might fail, because the price is still within the sideways area, and now we don't have energy supply. So if you are very aggressive investor and you can stop loss very fast, let's say, then maybe tomorrow you can check if close price tomorrow higher than the high price of today's first recycle candle, right? And then it might be a possible short-term buy point. But first thing is you need to wait for the confirmation tomorrow. Second thing is it might fail because it's still within the sideways area and no big boys. Chances and risks, they coexist, right? I mentioned this. And if you want to catch the potential chances, it might have opportunity, right? You need to take some risks. If you don't want to take too high risks, you better wait until the price can break up the sideways platform and big boys already in. Then in future, after some correction, you can try to find a buy point again based on the first recycle. Your success rate might be even higher. But now we have so many uncertainties here, because the energy supply not sufficient and the sideways platform still the price below the sideways platform. Okay, so that's for Yangzijiang. And actually for some other stocks in long-term, medium-term uptrend and has big boys take control, you actually can keep monitoring. For example, BHQ. I mentioned this share before in my previous video, right? So if you have been monitoring this one and you have followed the indicators, on 7th October you have been able to get it, and the following day or the third day you will be able to buy in, right? And until now, keep holding. So for this one, the signal is you can keep holding, but you cannot buy now. It's not a buy point. Remember, we need to strictly follow the trading rules. Based on the trading rules, first recycle, second day or third day we get the confirmation, we can buy. So now it's not the first recycle. The confirmation already was there long time ago. So it's not a buy point now. You can keep monitoring this one. After some correction in future, if we have another buy point again, can consider, right? So I mentioned for Singapore market, you need patience. You need to monitor the stocks with potentiality. It may not be the right timing to buy immediately or in near future, but as long as you keep monitoring, you can always find some great rallies in future, sometime in future. Your patience will be rewarded for Singapore market. Okay, and maybe another one is I07. Okay, for this one, we see it also remains sideways for a long time, and generally speaking, above the yellow lines of Homely Rainbow, right? Above the yellow lines of Homely Rainbow, and it's now the first recycle. The buy point already appeared several days again, and today it dropped a bit, right? But it dropped a bit. It doesn't mean that it's a bad share now. It doesn't mean it's bad now, because even if it's in uptrend for short term, you can't expect the price go up every day, right? So there must be some ups and downs. It's natural. You only need to follow the circle to decide your sell points. Until today, recycle, keep holding, and then you check for multicolor dragon. Retailers already disappear, right? So if the big boys in near future can increase to be 50%, even higher, this one may give us a forceful rally in near future. But it depends on how strong the big boys are. Now we need the big boys increase to be 50%. Rather, now the price is at the support of the recycle, right? So if in near future the price drop further, it's possible the circle might turn white. But you check the current price is very close to the yellow lines of Homely Rainbow, right? So if it drop a bit, it would be around the recycle support and also the yellow lines of Homely Rainbow support. So it's not easy for the price to break down the support here. Okay, so means relatively speaking, this share is quite safe the support below quite strong. Yeah, this is for ISDN I07, ticker is I07. Worth your attention in future. Okay, and now it's about the time for individual stock diagnosis. Let's check your individual stocks. Okay, so this friend wants to check UOB, right? So UOB. Oh, okay. So for UOB, let's check the end of the chart first, because for an analysis, the end of the homely software is the most powerful. This is the most powerful software to do the analysis, to make the strategy. Okay, so what we see is, of course, where is the bottom? Tai Chi signal, right? So we see the blue Tai Chi signal. It appeared on August 4th, right? And after that, the price break up the high of the blue Tai Chi. So we have a short-term rebound faced with the strong resistance around the blue and yellow lines of homely rainbow. So it choose to drop because resistance too strong, cannot break up without energy supply. We see no big boys or very little big boys. That's why the price cannot break up the strong resistance, right? After the correction, it gets support again at the previous blue Tai Chi signal level. You see, it's interesting. The Tai Chi signal can be strong support or resistance in future. This is why the indicator is very powerful, right? So bottom, touch bottom again, rebound. Can it break up the resistance? Until yesterday, the price still remained below the blue lines of homely rainbow, right? But just now we checked the real-time chart. Today, the price almost break up. See, today the price is trying to break up the white line, the blue lines of homely rainbow. At the same time, it's the first recircle. Right, it's the first recircle today. After the 2.29% rally today, the circle already turned red for short term. It's possible if tomorrow the price still remain above the high of the candle today, high price of the candle today. That's the condition for short term trading, right? And then our rising space from the blue line until the white line. The first white line, in future, the price is around $21.33. Okay, so that's the future target should there be a rebound in near future. We have the possibility that in near future, the price might give us a rebound. It's possible based on the indicator here, right? If it failed, don't forget, no software or no indicator can give you 100% accuracy rate, 100% certainty. That's not possible. So, means if in near future, the price failed to reach the future target level here, it maybe rise a bit and then drop. When to stop loss? That's a very important issue. So your stop loss would be, okay, so today's candle, right? Today is also, relatively speaking, a medium long candle. You can either set the half of today's candle or the open price of today's candle as your stop loss in future. This is your stop loss in future. Okay, this is for UOB, because not only UOB, yesterday or recently, I forget which day, I talked about DBS, right? So among the within the three banks, of course we know that DBS would be the strongest, right? It would be the strongest for DBS. So you see, faced with the very strong resistance at the white lines, white circle. I mentioned this, right? So it may not be the good timing to buy DBS immediately. But in future, if the price really break up the white lines of homely rainbow, and then we might have opportunities. This is based on, let's say, the US market remain bullish, generally speaking, for medium term to long term, right? So the general direction for the US market upward in future, a long time in the future, maybe at least 1 year, right? And then Singapore market likely would follow the US. If in that case, for banks, DBS, UOB, they might have opportunities. So it's worth monitoring the banks, especially DBS, and if you choose UOB also can. The banks, the performance roughly would be the same, but DBS will always be the strongest, right? And yeah, so this is for the banks. And then the other one is called Union Gas, right? So Union Gas. Let me check. What is this Union Gas? Okay, 1F2. Union Gas. Wow, this is quite a strong stock, right? It's a quite a strong stock. Let me check the volume. Okay, so the volume, the only problem is the volume is a bit low. It's less than 1 million. You see, 0.5 million. But the pattern is quite beautiful here. Now we don't have a buy point, because if you check red on white circle, already turned white circle yesterday, right? It's white. No, it's 2 days ago. White circle, right? So also we have blue, yellow Tai Chi previously. Yellow Tai Chi. So resistance. If the price can break up the resistance here, maybe in future we still have chances, because this one is controlled by big boys. We have a lot of big boys, quite stable, above 50%. The general trend is up. Medium term trend is up. For strong stocks, you only need to pick the timing for short term trading or for medium term trading. For medium term, when the price break up all the rainbow lines here, this is the long term bullish reversal, right? You buy around that area, then you keep holding. As long as the price remain above the yellow lines of homely rainbow, you can keep holding. So if you have bought back in May, then you can keep holding until now, today. This is for medium term to long term. For short term, follow the circle. First, the red circle, confirmation come 28 September, buy, keep holding, sell 2 days ago, and buy the first red circle, following day confirmation, then buy and sell. So buy low, sell high. You see, it's always profitable if you follow the trading system here, because it's a trading system which has been improved for more than 20 years. The company established 1998. Ever since that date, that moment, we already got the software and we keep upgrading. The software success rate is already very high. Okay, so you follow the trading system here. You can secure big profit and avoid big losses. Maybe sometimes break even, maybe sometimes small losses, but no big losses. But always catch big opportunities, big profits. Okay, so this is for this Union Gas. So the real time today, 1F2, right? Check the 1F2. Wow, that's a surprise. You see, it turned to red circle again today, because the big boys take control, right? It's quite a strong stock. Okay, you can follow the indicators here. Today is the first red circle. If you really want to buy this one, of course, I believe when the market closes, it will remain red circle, right? And then if you really want to try this in future, one thing is tomorrow whether or not we can get a confirmation, right? If we can get a confirmation tomorrow, it's a good to consider. And the other thing is, what if the price didn't go up, rather a drop? Should we sell? your stop loss, right? First red circle, and this is a relatively speaking medium long bullish candle. So your first stop loss can be half of this candle today. I put the cursor around the half. It's around 45 cents. Okay, so if the price in near future, your first stop loss is the price drop below this level, you can consider to a stop loss. Or if you can tolerate higher risks, you can set the open price for today as your stop loss. Open price today is 0.445. 0.445. Open price for today. You can also set that open price as your stop loss. And the final stop loss, okay? The final stop loss is the white circle in future. If in near future the price didn't go up, it turned to white circle, you definitely need to leave for short term. Okay? So I provide you three levels, different levels of stop loss. You can choose based on your own tolerance of risks. Okay, so this is about 1F2 union gas, and so today you got a lot of stocks to diagnose, right? So I cannot diagnose them all. Maybe I will take another two. KXIN. Okay, so I think this one is quite speculative, right? US stock less than $5 even after the rally, and also you check the volume previously, no volume. Only recently it suddenly becomes quite active, right? So volume suddenly increased greatly, and we already seen a rally, but the pattern is not that beautiful. Although we see now the price above the white lines of homely rainbow, but I think this one short term already after a big rally and Tai Chi signal. If the price drop below the yellow Tai Chi, possibly there might be a correction. Considering this one is quite speculative, it's and now we still have retailers quite a lot, right? So this kind of stock, for me personally, I would not touch, because this is pure speculation. I seldom do pure speculation. Especially if you fail to catch the rally recently, you already missed it. Now I don't want to touch it. And also, even in future, maybe this one can give you some other rallies, but from the very beginning, this is not my type. I will not choose this kind of stock because it's too speculative. So I mentioned in my previous videos how to become a TA master in the stock market. If you want to be a master in technical analysis, you need to learn to apply technical analysis in the spirit of value investment. Apply technical analysis in the spirit of value investment. I already shared with you what that means. If you are interested in this point of view, welcome to discuss with me after the video, right? Okay, so this is for KXIN, and then for another two, okay, NCLH, another one, NC. What's the time now? Okay, we can diagnose two more, okay, and NCLH, Norwegian Cruise. Wow, I think cruises, the sector, has been seriously damaged by the COVID-19, right? And because currently we have a second wave of COVID-19 in many countries, it becomes quite serious. I think before we have the vaccine available for the cruises, better not to touch. Cruisings, better not to touch. And you see it still remain below the resistance of the yellow lines and the blue lines of Homely Rainbow. Of course, the price already hit the bottom in April, but just no upward momentum. No upward momentum. And in near future,